Hi, Anna. Today, I'm excited to teach you something new and very important. How to make invitations.
Oh, that sounds interesting. I usually say, "Do you want to come to my house tomorrow?" Is that right?
That's not bad, but we can make it a little more polite by saying, "Would you like to come to my house tomorrow?" It sounds softer and more friendly.
Oh, I see. So, would you like to come to my house tomorrow? Is more polite.
Exactly. And you can also say, "How about coming to my house tomorrow?" It's another friendly way to make an invitation.
Oh, I didn't know that. So, how about and would you like are both good for invitations?
Yes. Now, when someone invites you, how do you usually respond?
I usually say, "Yes, I want to come," or "No, I can't."
Hmm, that's okay, but let's make it a bit more polite. Instead of, "Yes, I want to come," you can say, "Yes, I'd love to." It sounds more enthusiastic.
Oh, I didn't know that. So I should say, "I'd love to," instead of just "yes."
Exactly. And when you have to decline an invitation, instead of just saying, "No, I can't," you could say, "I'm sorry, but I won't be able to make it." It's more polite.
Ah, that makes sense. So it's important to sound polite when declining, right?
Yes, being polite is always a good idea when accepting or declining invitations. Let's practice. Invite me to do something.
Okay. Would you like to go to the movies with me this weekend?
Great, I'd love to. Now, how about you try declining an invitation politely?
Sure. I'm sorry, but I won't be able to make it. How was that?
That was perfect. You've got it, Anna. Do you have any other questions about making or responding to invitations?
Yes. Is it okay to say, "Do you want to come over?" Or is that too informal?
It's fine in casual situations, like when talking to close friends. But if you're inviting someone you don't know very well, it's better to use, "Would you like to come over?"
Oh, I see. So, "would you like" is more polite for formal or new friends, and "do you want" is okay with close friends.
Exactly. You're really getting the hang of this. Now, let's practice a full conversation where you invite me to different events and accept or decline them.
Okay, let's try. "Would you like to come to my birthday party this Saturday?"
I'd love to. Thank you for inviting me. How about this one? Would you like to go hiking this weekend?
I'd love to, but I'm sorry, I won't be able to make it.
Nice job. That was a very polite way to decline. Let's do one more. How about coming to the park with me tomorrow?
Sure, I'd love to.
Perfect, Anna. You've really improved. Remember, being polite goes a long way, especially when making invitations.
Thanks, teacher. I'll keep practicing these phrases.
Great. Now, why don't you mix this with what we learned earlier? Try making an invitation about something you used to do in the past.
Let's see. "Would you like to go bike riding like I used to do every summer?"
Excellent. That's a great sentence, Anna. You combined both lessons perfectly.
Thanks. This is actually fun.
Hey, Anna, last time you told me something funny about a conversation you had with a friend. Do you remember?
Oh, yes, I was trying to talk about something I used to do, but I think I said it wrong. I said I would eat a lot of candy when I was younger, but it sounded strange.
That's a common mistake. Don't worry, you're not alone. The phrase used to and would can be confusing sometimes. But today we're going to fix that and make sure you never mix them up again.
That sounds great. I really want to understand when to use used to and would.
Awesome. So, let's start with used to. We use used to for actions or habits that happened regularly in the past, but don't happen anymore. For example, I used to eat a lot of candy when I was younger.
Oh, so I should have said, I used to eat a lot of candy when I was younger, right?
Exactly. You got it. Used to is perfect for describing past habits or states.
Got it. But when do I use would then? I'm still a little confused.
Great question. We use would in a similar way, but only for actions, not for states or situations. You wouldn't say, I would be shy when I was younger. Instead, you'd say, I used to be shy when I was younger.
So I can only use would for actions, but used to for both actions and states?
Correct. For example, you could say, I would play soccer every weekend, or I used to play soccer every weekend. Both are fine because playing soccer is an action.
What if I say, I would live in a small town? Is that correct?
Not quite. Living in a small town is a state, not an action. So you should say, I used to live in a small town.
Ah, I see. I used to live in a small town, but I wouldn't say, I would live in a small town.
Exactly. Now you're getting it. Why don't you try giving me another example using used to?
Sure. I used to ride my bike to school every day.
Perfect. Now let's try with would. Can you give me a sentence with would?
Okay. I would ride my bike with my friends after school.
Great. That's an excellent example of using would for a repeated action in the past. Now, do you see the difference between the two?
Yes. Used to can be for anything in the past, and would is just for actions.
Right again. Now let's practice some more. I'll say a sentence, and you tell me if it's correct. Ready?
Yes, I'm ready.
I would love going to the park every weekend.
That doesn't sound right. I think it should be, I used to love going to the park.
Correct. We can't use would with emotions or states like love. Here's another one. I used to eat ice cream every day after school.
That sounds right. Used to works because it's a habit in the past.
Excellent. Now here's a tricky one. I would be nervous before exams.
Oh, I know this one. It should be, I used to be nervous before exams because nervous is a state, not an action.
Exactly. You're really getting the hang of it. Now, can you think of a sentence using both used to and would?
Let me try. I used to be scared of the dark, but I would always leave a light on before going to bed.
Wow, that's perfect. You used both correctly. You used used to for the state of being scared and would for the action of leaving the light on. Great job, Anna.
Thanks, teacher. This is starting to make sense now.
I'm glad to hear that. Remember, practice is the key. The more you use these phrases, the easier it will become. Do you have any other questions about used to or would?
Yes, actually. Can I use used to for things that are still true now? Like, can I say, I used to like pizza? If I still like it?
That's a great question. No, you can't use used to for something that's still true. Used to is only for things that were true in the past but aren't anymore. If you still like pizza, you'd just say, I like pizza.
Oh, I see. So used to only works if the habit or state has changed.
Exactly. Let's try one more. Tell me something you used to do but don't do anymore.
I used to play the piano, but I don't play anymore.
Nice example. And what's something you would do regularly in the past?
I would go swimming every summer when I was a kid.
Great. Now, here's another tip. When we use would, it often sounds more natural in storytelling. For example, When I was a kid, I would visit my grandparents every summer, and they would always cook my favorite meal.
Oh, so I can use would when I'm telling a story about the past?
Exactly. It makes the story sound more vivid and active.
That's so cool. I'll try to use would more when I'm telling stories.
Yes, and just remember, used to for habits or states that have changed, and would mainly for actions when telling stories. Any last questions before we wrap up?
Just one. Can I say, I used to could play the piano?
Ah, good catch. You can't say used to could. It's either I used to play the piano or I could play the piano when I was younger. You don't mix them together.
Oh, okay. So it's either one or the other, not both?
That's right. You're really getting it, Anna. Now, why don't you try one more sentence to finish our lesson?
Sure. I used to watch cartoons every Saturday, and my brother would join me sometimes.
Perfect, Anna. I can see you've learned really well how to use I used to and I would. In addition, in this lesson, we also learned how to make invitations and politely decline them.
Thank you, teacher. I feel like I've learned so much in today's lesson. Thanks again, and see you next time.
If you enjoyed this video and found it helpful, make sure you don't miss our next video. We have an exciting and engaging topic lined up to help you practice your listening skills. Click here to watch it and keep improving your English.